Hello, YouTube. This is Doug Robbins. I just wanted to get on here and give you my opinion. The title of this video is, of course, why the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio love triangle sucks, but why you embrace it anyway. I grew up during the Monday Night Wars. That's when I started watching wrestling. I started watching wrestling probably around 97, 98. Would have been 97 because I was in fourth grade at the time. And I watched it with, we started with WCW. I watched it with my brother, and I watched it with my grandma. And like I said, that was in 97. And within a year or two, I was completely WWF because I switched back and forth like for a little while, but really once I got to the WWF, it was pretty much like, okay, I'm here now. And there were some good storylines, but the Attitude Era had something that when current WWE fans think they're recreating that, but they're really not. You have to have the talent that makes up for your shitty storytelling because that's the problem with WWE. Um, there were elements of WCW that even at their worst were arguably better than the WWF. Um, because WCW during the Monday Night Wars, you had great characters. You know what I mean? WCW had more of a roster that could put on entertaining matches and that you gave a shit about. Um, Throughout. Because if you really want to see, okay, what's an example of like lower tier card? And again, probably the most famous jobber team I can think of in the WWF was the New Age Outlaws. It's like they'd go out there and get beat all the time, but everyone would do their shtick, kind of like Enzo and Cass. Like even when they get beat all the time, they'd come out and do their shtick, and the people would eat it up. Um, Same with the New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg get on the fucking mic. Uh, Billy Gunn tell you to suck it, and they'd fucking pop for this. Just like in WCW, Disco Inferno would come out, and he would dance, and that's literally like he never had a memorable promo, never had a good match in the ring. You know what I mean? Like he would just get his ass beat all the time, but he would come out to disco and to that disco fever music, and fucking everybody's cheering for him. You know what I mean? Like that's over. Like that's crazy that all he had to do was like disco dance like he was John Travolta and Staying Alive, and the dude got the fuck over just doing that. And the crowd would pop. They would all be doing the disco dance. It was absolutely insane. Now, I think nostalgia uh, plays into 99% of why everybody today is into the whole Judgment Day love triangle thing. They think of it like it's Eddie Guerrero in China from back in the day, which is weird. You know what I mean? Because, quite frankly, when you look at stuff from a historical perspective, looking back at something, you realize how much credit you gave to a show based off the video games over the actual show itself. Like, for example, loved the N64 wrestling games. Loved No Mercy, like Revenge, and loved WCW NWO World Tour. And again, Eddie Guerrero on that game was always good. He was tough as shit. Uh, like the computer, the AI, didn't matter if it was on normal, easy. He was still tough as shit. And a few years later, when he beat Brock Lesnar, and the crowd was just popping for him, the Brock Lesnar thing was probably his best storyline, WWE wise, because to me, he had the thing with China, which was stupid and a waste of time because here was fucking your big bodybuilder girl, China, who's a badass. Uh, the only female fucking IC champion I can think of. You know what I mean? And, which, fun fact, men wrestling women, WCW, Glenn Gilberti, who was Disco Inferno, didn't want to put over Jacqueline Moore when she was in WCW. And no, it's not really relevant. It goes into the men versus women thing. And, you don't appreciate certain shit until later. And it's like seeing all these shoots where Ivory was talking to Molly Holly, like, I'm a little more beat up, or were those matches with Jacqueline Moore? Like, is it just me? You feel like you don't remember hurting that much, and it's like, no, she's rough on us. And even PG-13 guy, Jamie Dundee, Bill Dundee's kid, saying, that black bitch about killed me. Because back then, it was that bad, trash-tastic promo style to people that were underneath card people. And again, they did a lot of trash-tastic even with the main eventers. But I would give the fans a little more credit. Like, I just figured it was like me, they were overlooking a lot of shit. And then on Twitter and social media, just people talking about like, yeah, it was trash and we loved it because of it. So I'm trying not to let those fans bias me and just saying, well, WWE from the Attitude Era on has written for the lowest common denominator, kind of white trashy fan. But I want to be a little more objective about it. You know what I mean? But it's like you've lost credibility now. And now I see, okay, that subsect of fan that wants it because it's trashy and bullshit, okay, I'm writing you off now. To the rest of you that may dig it, nostalgia. You know what I mean? You look at Rhea and Dominic, and you see Eddie and Dominic, even though Eddie Guerrero looked like an athlete, and like I don't know why. Whenever I've seen, because he's more like James Ellsworth, uh, Kevin Owens. You guys remember calling him James Ellsmore? just, I don't know. He's super skinny and not like Eddie Guerrero was a hell of a lot skinnier in his WCW days, but he still looked like an athlete. Um, like tall, gangly, unathletic, like almost Mexican Jim Carrey, basically. Uh, Not a believable ladies' man. He does the worst 6'1". Like, I don't know why. I just remember seeing him do the 619 and it pissing me off just because how awkward it looked. Because his dad, everybody knows he's like 5'6", 165 pounds, but he's fucking one of the most agile motherfuckers in a pro wrestling ring, and that's saying something. Because the cruiserweights, it was like pretty much 99%. It was like pretty much all agility. More or less. Like the best wrestlers you can think of, it was agility. And he's more agile than any of them. Now, you're used to the modern wrestling era. Not saying the Bella Twins, but like, think of the eras they wrestled. That's when I really started noticing the Mean Girl reality show quips. Like the stupid shit, like AJ Lee saying, talent's not sexually transmitted. And just like, think of the barbs when John Cena and Roman Reigns were trading them back and forth. Stupid Mean Girl comments, like you're used to that stupid shit. So, and again, there's soap opera fans that I think everyone that always said, well, pro wrestling is like a male soap opera. It's a story that's going on longer than 3 seconds. It's trashy. A lot of people, I think, like it because they're attracted to Rhea and Liv. And you know what I mean? Like they live vicariously through Dominic. They see this as, oh, well, he's a great heat magnet because again, like George Carlin, these poor people have been bullshitted for so long, which wrestling fans and especially in the WWE have. You guys are being shown something that, again, you can't even believe. Because, number one, nobody would buy this bullshit in real life. And even leaving that alone, because WWE likes to do that weird, unbelievable love interest shit. Dominic's married. Rhea's either married or in a relationship. Now, that part is, well, what about the fans that try to do what you believe that they should be doing, which is watching stuff, fuck social media. Go in there and watch what you watch, love what you love, and just go in blind. Said, I'm going to enjoy this for the merit of the storytelling. Which, okay, fine. We will take out those other factors. Like I said, I've given you the reasons why I think it sucks. Why do you guys love it? Nostalgia? This latest, I didn't listen to the audio, but I know that Dominic was, not really cussing her out, but yelling at her like, I hate you. You've ruined my life. Get the fuck out of here. And Liv goes off crying. You're seeing a story, which fans have been clamoring for actual stories and not just like one night only, like, and here's the payoff by Raw's end. It's ongoing. You guys, it's nostalgia. You're reminding her of Eddie and China. And you're mistaking this for intensity of character. Like, you can think of it as, was there some force shit back then? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the Undertaker saying, "While you were trying to get some in high school off old Mary Jane Rottencrotch." But, while again, a stupid line, what are we really wanting out of that? Undertaker, even though he's 6'10", because of how big the personality of The Rock is, even though he's only 6'5" and 275 versus like, what, 326, 6'10", of his fucking Jack Dead Man mythic legend that's now more a biker than a dead man at that time. The personalities, we know they're going to come to blows, and they're a couple of badasses. And The Rock, he just got the sunglasses on with that pissed off, stoic look that The Rock has. And again, you see tension. And you think of, this is actually giving us character and a story, because today's wrestling is kind of bland. It's, that's why when The Rock was like, fuck your story, he's being creepy to Cody's mom, because he was actually giving people, you know what I mean, like making them feel, which MJF claims to make people feel all the time down in AEW. But with that being said, it's a great, I don't want to say it's a great idea, but it's like, the you want to give us character, you want to give us intensity, you want to give us a taste of nostalgia when it's done right. But and again, I mean, we're talking about the New Day, even thinking of Damian Priest, okay? Got the deep voice, he's got the kicks, he's a world champion. He deserves better. You know what I mean? Because if this was wanting to go back to the Attitude Era, but like done better, it's like, look, Dom, I ain't gonna have you being a fucking cancer. Either, because again, and this suggestion, this is like fixing Halloween Ends, like if you guys remember Beetlejuice, where the old lady's like, boy, you two have really screwed up. This is basically if you're trying to make something done shittily by other people a little better. Or make it make more sense, or make it actually semi good or better than it was just left to their own devices. He's like, I ain't gonna have you being a fucking cancer. Let's end this now, or else your punk ass, me and Finn and all the other boys, you know what would happen. And if he has to, beat the dog shit out of him. Like, have blood squirting out of this kid's mouth and I mean, kick him in the fucking ribs like a dog, like it's a fucking prison scene. Like, you would think he looks like the Elephant Man. Like, beat the shit out of him, punches, blood flying out of his mouth, fucking bruise his ribs. You know what I mean? Like, make this worth something. Because now, to me, through my way of booking, This would be getting rid of a character that does not deserve to exist in Dominic Mysterio. He's a waste of fucking space. He doesn't belong there. He doesn't look like a wrestler, doesn't feel like a wrestler. He's literally only there because of his dad. Because again, Rhea and Liv, under better pretenses, under a better reason to fight, and not because of fucking bullshit. A story that isn't believable or fun and is just more WWE retarded than being good. Like the Liv Morgan match would be with Rhea would be a hell of a lot better without having to put up with this horse shit. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day.